Hi soulmates, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to be recreating the style. I'm going to make little changes to it. So if this is what you're interested in, then let's get started. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So I have my pattern paper with me here, as you can see. Again, this is in a fold, and this is the fabric that I'm using for it. This is a lycra fabric, okay? It's stretchy on both sides. It's very stretchy, okay? So I have already cut out my skirt pattern, okay? I had an old skirt pattern in the house, so I just used it. So as you can see here, my skirt pattern. If you don't know how to draft your skirt pattern, there's a link in the description box. I have a tutorial on that and you can check that. So I have here my actual waist, okay? I have here my actual waist. My actual waist is 9 inches. Now this fabric is stretchy. Because it is stretchy, we are not going to add allowance to it. So this is the skirt pattern. So this is the back pattern. For the back pattern, I added 1 inch for the zipper allowance, okay? I am making a skirt and a top, okay? So this is what I am doing. So this is it. So we're going to start with the drafting of the upper part of the dress, that's the blouse. So I'm taking my vertical measurement. Here I'm taking my shoulder to chest line 9 inches, shoulder to bust point 11 inches, shoulder to waist 17 inches, and then the full length, shoulder to hip 26 inches, and then I added 5 inches to make the full length of the dress. So I'm just labeling these points as I have marked. So this is it, as you can see. Next, I'm going to take my shoulder divided by 2, which is 8 inches, and mark. And I mark the neck depth of 3.5 inches. Okay, and then I came down by 5 inches for the neck depth. And then what I have on the shoulder line, that 8 inches, I'm going to mark it on this chest line as well. And then connect a straight line like so. And then connect this as well to mark my shoulder slope. For the shoulder slope, I came down by 1 inch from that shoulder point. And then I'm going to connect this to form a V shape like this. And you can see I just made a little curve there. So the next thing we're going to do before I go ahead to draft the armhole is I'm taking my dart. My nipple to nipple divided by 2 is 4 inches. So guys, I didn't know that my camera was not recording, so I just had to, before I noticed I had already finished, so I just had to make a small pattern here like this to make the illustration to show you what I did. Okay, this is the point where I stopped. So I'm taking in my dart. So let's assume that this is my pattern paper. Okay, so I'm taking in my dart. So from this point I came in by 4 inches, which is my nipple to nipple divided by 2. Okay, and then I marked it on the full length of the dress all the way up to the bust point, and then I connected as you see me doing. Okay, so you're going to connect it downwards as you see me doing. And then afterwards, on the waistline, I went out on this side going towards the center front by 1/2 of an inch, and on the other side, I came out by 1 inch. And then I marked this also on the full length as well. Okay, what I had on the waistline, I came down straight to the full length of the dress. And then from the bust point, I came down by 1 inches. Okay, so you're going to take this line to the bust point. On the bust point, I came down by 1 inch. And then I connect. So we're just trying to like create our princess bustier here. I know most of you already know how to do this, okay, how to draft your princess bustier, but this I am taking the dart legs all the way down to the full length of the dress, okay, and then I connected back the armhole as you can see, okay. So that is what I did basically for it. Then already I marked the front already, the front neck depth. As you can see, I marked it already, so I'm just doing it here again for illustration. Okay, so you've already seen that. Then I connected straight lines just like I said, as you can see. So this was what I did. Okay, so afterwards on this point I came upwards. Okay, from this point I came upwards from the full length of the dress. I came up by 7 inches. Okay, can you see that? And then I came in like this by 1.5 inches and I connected, as you can see, okay, to have that front opening. And then afterwards I placed all my body circumference measurements, and then replace the dart intake. Okay, remember that we are not adding sewing allowance because the fabric is super stretchy. So then next, from the hip point, I went up by 3 inches. Okay, from the hip line, I went up by 3 inches, and as you can see, I am connecting, and then I connected like this to the other side of the dress, into the center front line, and then I cut out my pattern. All right, so let's just go ahead and cut the excess out. So as you can see, I've opened it up like this. This is what I had. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. Can you see? So this is what I had. My camera just went off. I don't even know why. So this is it. Can you see? This is the one that I drafted. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's exactly the same. So now let's go ahead and work on the back pattern. I've marked out 1 inch for my zipper allowance, and we're just going to rush with the back pattern, okay, because it's basically the same method that we use. Okay, the only difference between the back and the front is that the neck depth for the back is 2.5 inches, and that is what I did for the back pattern, and then connected the rest as you see me doing. So let's just go ahead and do that. So for the back, on both sides of the dart line, I took 1/2 inch, okay, and then I connected straight to the bust. I just wanted to do something different. Okay, so I just did this. All right, there are so many patterns to how you can achieve this. Just do what works for you. Okay, so this is how I connected it, just straight lines, as you can see, and then I went up by 3 inches on the hip, as I told you before, like we did for the front. Okay, and then I connected downwards like this. Okay, and then the next thing is to go ahead and then start cutting out the excess. Okay, for the dart intake, you can do whichever one works for you. This was a new pattern that I just thought to try out, and it worked out pretty well for me. Okay, so you can do this, or you can just take the normal dart and then connect just as we did for the front. You can do that pattern if you like. So can you see this? The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place all the front and the back pattern on the fabric, and then I'm going to trace them out as you see. And please, while you're cutting, don't forget to add allowances, okay, to those points. Just look at the point that I'm adding allowances and make sure that you add your allowances, okay? Make sure that you add your joining allowance. And after I did that, I just decided to just make a small sleeve with what I had left, okay? So I just decided to just make a small, very short sleeve, right, with what I had left. So you can do that. If you have enough fabric, just go ahead, and then you can decide to make the fabric like your sleeve, like it is on the image that we're using on the picture there. So just do basically what you like. So this is me just cutting out my waistband, what I'll be using for the waistband. I don't even know if this will go across, but let's see how it goes. So this is basically, it's 4 inches wide, and then I cut it open. So in our next tutorial, we're going to put all of this together to get our dress. Okay, so I'll see you in the next tutorial, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Bye.